Welcome back, everybody. Today starts the NFL Combine, but we are still in the dead zone. No real news coming out of the Combine just yet. Normally, you got to wait till those quarterbacks start throwing, but don't worry because the new league year starts in just 2 weeks, I believe March 13th, and that is when free agency is going to kick off and the news is just going to start flowing in. But let's get into it, everybody. This is Total Speculation. We're that one NFL show on YouTube. I'm that one NFL guy. With me, we got Knipe, our very own McLovin. One word, no spaces. And man, it is a dry spell of news, but we're going to go ahead and pull together what we can. Shaq Barrett, Jonnu Smith, and MVS release. What does this mean? Let me tell you, people. What Shaq Barrett means is that the Bucs are pulling together a huge offer for Mike Evans to try to keep him over there. We'll see if they're able to do it, but to me, that's what that move means. He has underperformed his contract a little bit, but with pass rushers, man, they're always expensive. So, I mean, to me, that looks like they're doing what they can to keep Mike Evans. With Jonnu Smith, I feel like this one's obvious right here. Okay, Jonnu Smith is a future Pittsburgh Steeler, all right? I wouldn't be surprised if Arthur Smith called and literally offered everything he could to get them to let go of Jonnu Smith. But I'm telling you right now, people, Jonnu Smith and Arthur Smith will be reunited again, okay? And then MVS, just a total disappointment for the Chiefs. Just a total disappointment, man. They're saving $12 million right here, and don't know what they're going to do with it. Probably try to keep L'Jarius Sneed and Chris Jones, but that was an easy decision on their part. Do you got any comments on these three boring releases right here,
No, I like that you went straight to the Arthur Smith and Jonnu Smith things. That's definitely going to happen. I mean, yeah, he was just obviously a product of a guy who absolutely loves him for some reason. MVS, whatever. I mean, that's to save $12 million in cap. Isn't that right? I think that's the number I keep seeing is $12 million in cap.
Yeah,
to save $12 million in cap and release a guy like that. That's like, dude, that's like the most obvious of obvious choices. Like any accountant
would recommend you
make. Yeah. So yeah, and then Shaq Barrett is the guy who's, I guess, the most talented for sure of the bunch. So I mean, it'd be interesting to see where he ends up. You could speculate and say like maybe the Dolphins or because he'd stay in Florida. I feel like that'd be kind of appealing for him. Plus, I think the Dolphins, I think they could use more defensive help. So I think Shaq Barrett being a veteran presence over there makes sense.
Yeah, it'll kind of be interesting to see if he can land a starting role. He's coming off one of his least productive seasons in a while with just 4.5 sacks. Pretty much played the whole year this year. So like I said, it was a little bit of a disappointing year for him. But and he's over 30. He's 30 going on. It'll be 32 this season. So I think he'll end up with a reserve role, but he's definitely somebody that's got some juice left in the tank. And those edge rushers, they pay pretty late most of the time if they're good. But let's slide over to the tags. All right. L'Jarius Sneed, Mecole Pittman, and Brian Burns. Basically, all three of them announced that they will be receiving the tag if no long-term deal is reached. With the L'Jarius Sneed, it's a little bit different because Mecole Pittman, they said he's for sure going to be a Colt in 2024. It's just a matter of trying to get that deal done and basically extending the time that they can do it by using the tag. With Sneed, though, Sneed and Burns, they said they're not ruling out anything off of the table, but Sneed was actually given permission to seek a trade because the Chiefs basically aren't letting him go for free is essentially what's happening there. And I think they are going to try to match that offer. There's not really details on what the plan is for them there, but I think they're going to try to keep Sneed. And at the worst, I don't think that they are letting him go for free. I will say with Sneed, I think that a trade is tough because, first of all, Sneed coming off of an all-pro year, he's expecting to get paid. But when you talk about trading for Sneed, you got to also consider the Chiefs will be eligible for a comp pick if he just walks. So that really complicates things. Now, they are going to be looking to spend money maybe in free agency to replace him, so that can offset it a little bit. But when you're talking about somebody coming over and trading for Sneed, I feel like they're going to want at least a second. And somebody to trade a second or a first for Sneed on top of giving him that deal, it's going to be tough. I mean, I could see him playing on the tag. I could see the Chiefs getting a deal done, and I could also see him getting traded. But if he does get traded, I really think the Chiefs aren't doing it for less than a second, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, do you think L'Jarius? Do you think that's the name that we're going to see? Like, do you think he's traded like draft night? Like, 'cause I think that's where this might head. You know what I mean? Like, stalemate for a while.
No. Yeah, I mean, definitely could be one
Only
of those
because, like, let's say
processes.
let's say the Chiefs fall in love with someone in the third round at like a higher, like top tier third round pick, and they were like, oh man, like like let's do this, like let's trade this team for Sneed, and then like let's take this guy here. We believe in this kid. That's how I can see a deal being done for Sneed, and I don't know who's going to do it. Because I'm like you said, I'm sure he's expecting to be paid, probably at least 15+ mil a year. I'm sure. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult to see where he lands.
I mean, I would imagine coming off of All-Pro year, he probably wants to be the top paid corner in the league.
I mean, shit. I mean, maybe. Like, I kind of get that. And then Michael Pittman, yeah, like you said, he's pretty much a done deal. Like, it's just got those final numbers got to get worked out. Then Brian Burns, I would like to see him on a different team. I don't like to see players get wasted. Like, that good of players get wasted on a team that's basically useless in the NFL. I mean, they're just irrelevant as all can be. So yeah, I hope Brian Burns ends up on a team that's actually competing for playoffs, year in and year out. So I hope it fails.
Yeah, that ain't happening, buddy. He's going to be suiting up as a Panther. I'm telling you that right now. That's my prediction. If they do trade him, I think it'd be like midway through next year. But let's go ahead and move on. We'll continue to monitor those situations. Let's just go ahead and talk about something that's been coming out for a while. Not too much to say on it. Teams are interested in trading for Hassan Reddick. Duh. Okay. Duh. We're not even going to talk about that. Duh. All right. If he's available, of course, teams are interested in trading for Hassan Reddick. We just talked about how tough it is to get pass rush in this league. Yes, of course, people are going to trade for a young, healthy Hassan Reddick. Moving on. Zach Wilson, also given permission by the Jets to seek a trade tonight. That makes me want to ask you this. Should anybody be interested in trading for Zach Wilson? Just anybody?
No, dude. Like, what do you mean? What would you trade? Like, that's almost insulting. I feel like that's literally insulting to the league to say that out loud and put it into print. Like, someone in that organization leaked or said that that's okay. Like, I mean, who was the guy that started that instead of just being like, no, dude, we're gonna let him walk. You just wait a minute. Yeah, a trade. What do you think you're gonna get back, my guy? Like, you really think you're gonna get back even a 7th? I'd rather take a shot in the dark. You can find a Brock Purdy in the 7th as opposed to a Zach Wilson. Yeah, no, that's laughable news. And I mean, what are we doing, Jets? Like, are you guys just trying to piss people off? Like, what are you doing? Come on, Salah.
I just see this headline, and I just really think like, could you imagine Zach Wilson calling you and asking if he can look for a trade? I mean, duh, you can look for a trade, brother. You're never going to play here, okay? Please find a trade for us. Anything, Zach, anything. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Zach Wilson is not worth trading anything. And for the people that say, but what about Trey Lance? They traded something from Trey Lance. We haven't seen enough of Trey Lance yet. At the very least, with Trey Lance, you have the mystery of the unknown. We're not sure. This guy really hasn't played. With Zach Wilson, it's like, no, he's played, and we know. There's nowhere else to go from here. That's it. We're done. I'd take C.J. Beathard as my backup quarterback before I take Zach Wilson. It's not even close. I just brought that up just to poke some fun at Zach Wilson. I'm so sorry, man, but it's just not going to work out for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
if nobody told you by now, we're telling you right now. So let's slide over. Speaking of the Jets, Mecole Hardman and the Jets are in quite a beef. Him and the Jets players, okay? Because Mecole Hardman went on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark, Freddie T, and the boys. I forget the other guy's name. I'm sorry. He's pretty cool. Cool show. But basically says there's no standards on offense and pretty much essentially says we were all just banking that Aaron Rodgers would let it work out. And then Aaron goes down and nobody knows what to do. Okay. Now this was followed up by some criticisms from other Jets players, including their punter, Thomas Morstead, who basically says, Careful what you listen to with a disgruntled employee that gets beat out by a rookie free agent, referring to, I believe his name is Xavier Gibson, who returned punts for them this year, the rookie wide receiver. But not only him, we also got Kenny Yeboah talking about him leaking game plans, and same with Sauce Gardner, both of them saying that he leaked the game plans to the Eagles. And there was another report that came out that included the Chiefs in that as well. I don't know what to think of whether he actually did that or not, but I can tell you this, if he did do that, you might as well lock yourself in with the Chiefs forever, buddy, because nobody is ever going to sign you again, pal. That's it. With the Chiefs or nobody, if you're out here leaking game plans. Funny enough, though, the Eagles are listed on there, and the Jets beat the Eagles. So, I mean, shit, maybe you should have leaked more game plans. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say the results of those games are, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was influenced.
The Chiefs game was close. The Chiefs game was closer than you expected it to be. Yeah. Like, it was like a one-score game, I'm pretty sure. And then the Eagles game, they upset them. So it's kind of like maybe you should have gave out more game plans.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I mean, I was never surprised to see the Jets in any game this last season, just because their defense is so stout. That they kept, like, that defense kept them in games. You know what I mean? So, like, I wasn't really shocked that that was a close game by any means. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Mecole Hardman is whatever. He's just trying to make a name for himself. He's just trying to be remembered. He knows that this is the only thing he can do to be remembered about this Chiefs team, because he's a footnote on that team, dude. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, no. Mecole Hardman's a joke.
Scored the game-winning touchdown, though.
Whatever, dude. Okay, like a fucking play where nobody's near him. Like, yeah, he was schemed open, I understand, but like anybody could have ran that route, motherfucker.
Hey, Kadarius Toney drops that ball 9 times out of 10.
I don't want to hear you say anything about Kadarius Toney. All right, oh man, I told you Kadarius was trash the second I saw. Oh man,
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to give Hardman credit for that catch. You're just like, listen, all pressure in the world, okay? I understand it's an easy catch, but under those circumstances, you got to give him credit. He caught it.
Sure, yeah, great way to catch it with nobody.
My man's been a lifelong Chief. I mean, apparently, he was the Chief with the Chiefs' rookie contract, and then signs a big deal with the Jets, just giving out game plans to the Chiefs. Like, my man is a Chief for life, okay? Respect. Hardman, respect. But I'm just letting you know right now, if that is true and other teams find out, you are going to have no leverage ever again. You're always going to have to be a Chief or you're out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he might even be in the league in a year or two. So let's just move on.
Oh, come on. He's buddies with Pat Mahomes. He'll be in the league. He's got another 3 to 4 left in him. All right. Listen, that's all I want to talk about with Hardman. Okay. It's really, just like you said, he's just really not worth talking about that much. I don't even know why he's getting the attention to go on the Pivot podcast. That in itself doesn't really make sense to me. There's a lot of better candidates to pick from, but I digress. We'll talk about another player here who's been out in the media just talking his shit. All right, DJ Moore. He's been a very strong supporter of Justin Fields pretty much since the beginning, since he got to Chicago. But he straight up came out and said the Bears should draft Marvin Harrison Jr. with that first overall pick, and we should keep Justin Fields. And I probably have talked about Justin Fields or DJ Moore's support of Justin Fields before, but I just find it interesting that he's willing to put a name on who they should draft. Because listen, first of all, when they draft Caleb Williams, that's going to be awkward. The fact that this guy literally did not want you on the team, and he's made it pretty clear that he doesn't want Caleb Williams on the team. He's basically said, like, I might request a trade if Justin Fields is not here. So I just think that it's worth talking about, because if the Bears decide to trade Justin Fields, they might end up having to trade DJ Moore with him. Maybe not with him, but separately as well, which creates a whole nother hole for them and a whole nother list of issues. So I just think maybe if you're the Bears, maybe you should consider that when you're making this decision.
Yeah, dude, I was thinking about that too. Like, what if Pole's decision comes down to, do I want Fields and Moore, or do I want Caleb and Marvin? Because then I know we've talked about that a lot, but like, then he could pull off getting Caleb and Marvin in a trade. If you offer the Patriots Justin Fields and DJ Moore and number 9 pick, that deal's getting done. You know what I mean? Like, and you can have your Caleb and Marvin stack, and then just say, okay, well, out with DJ Moore and Justin Fields, which I mean, I don't think is the right play. I don't think that's what will ultimately end up happening. That seems all of that seems a bit extreme. And I feel like the NFL is a little more like low key than that. And I don't know. I think the obvious is going to happen where Caleb Williams gets drafted. DJ Moore is going to be butthurt probably in the media, but I'm sure that they'll just have a meeting with them and be like, dude, like, give us a year. We'll still feature you. You know what I mean? Even if they get Odunze or Neighbors or whatever, we're still going to feature you. Don't like Shane Waldron will come in, and all that jazz. And that's what I see happening. And then they're probably going to not get Marvin Harrison Jr. Also, they're probably going to, I would say they're going to sign Saquon and draft Neighbors number 9 or Odunze if he falls or whatever. But yeah, that's how I kind of see the Bears situation playing out over there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would also be trying to keep DJ Moore on my good side so that I can keep him for the year. Because listen, even if you're able to pull off getting Marvin Harrison Jr. with him, with Caleb Williams, you're still going to want a veteran guy that's been in this league that has gotten 1,000 yards after 1,000 yards that you can rely on and know that he's going to be there to get you 1,000 yards. Now, what I also consider too when they make this decision is, if I'm Matt Eberflus, okay, I feel like if I go with a rookie quarterback, so much pressure is on. Like, pressure's on no matter what. You need to win this year, whether you take Caleb Williams or you take Justin Fields. I really feel like it's playoff or you're out of here. But to put all that on getting a rookie quarterback and hoping that he's going to save your job, I feel like tough situation. But we're going to go ahead and move on. We actually have some breaking news here. The Vikings are releasing Alexander Madison. He took over for Dalvin Cook last season, had 700 rushing yards and caught 30 passes, but he'll be a free agent this year, so no more Vikings for him. Let's talk about the Raiders for a second, all right? On the GM Shuffle, Michael Lombardi's podcast, he took a pretty harsh shot at Antonio Pierce, basically saying that just because he's from Compton, this man thinks he knows the Raider way, and he wants him to just shut up, okay? I don't really know what Michael Lombardi's problem is here, all right? I just wanted to point this out because he's being a real McDickhead, okay? I don't really understand how you could hate Antonio Pierce. Guy steps in for a broken locker room, just completely mismanaged Raiders team, and ends up leading them to a winning record under him. I mean, that's pretty impressive in itself. And you're not even going to give this man a chance before you're just like, shut him up. He doesn't know anything about being a Raider. I mean, my man was a professional football player for like 12 years, a captain on the Giants. He's got Tom Coughlin in his corner, helping him with getting coaches and getting respected coaches and putting a staff together. So I just think it's a little harsh to tell Antonio Pierce to shut up just because he didn't play for the Raiders, or I don't really know. I don't know why this man can't understand the Raider way.
Yeah, dude, I love Antonio Pierce, bro. Like, I think what he did was, I don't know, just the view of the team. Like, I don't really care about the Raiders that much. I mean, obviously being a Niner fan, it's a different conference, but they're basically neighbor teams, and so we're supposed to hate the Raiders supposedly, but I didn't really care about them, you know what I mean? And then like Antonio Pierce came in, I feel like he's just changed like the culture, and they feel fun to root for, you know what I mean? But you also like just, man, like the grit that they brought, and like when they whooped what team did they just destroy? Was it the Chargers or no? Like they went up like 72
the Chargers.
Dude, that was awesome. Like I love that. Like I'm like, dude, yes, like finally someone is just like, dude, screw this. Let's play freaking football. We're here to win. We're here to kick ass, basically. We're trying to do that every single week. Like we want to win 80-0 every week. And you can see it with Antonio Pierce. Like he shows it. Like that's how I felt about like when Saleh was on my sideline and D'Amico Ryans. Like those guys on the sideline, they give you that, like your team, that energy and that aura of like success. And like he's one of those dudes. He has that factor about him, which is awesome. And like that's why I'm glad Max Crosby stepped up for him and said, hey, like I'll leave if this guy doesn't get retained. So I mean that's good. I think he's going to prove that he's worthy of being a head coach in the NFL. I think the Raiders will be fine this year.
Yeah, exactly. You bring up a great point with the Max Crosby thing. Went to bat for him so hard. And also you look at the last hiring cycle for the Raiders, hiring Josh McDaniels over Rich Bisaccia, which was a similar situation because Rich brought them to the playoffs. It's so many distractions with John Gruden that year. And Also, blanking on his name, went to jail. Henry Ruggs situation, just a tough year for the Raiders, and they ended up going with an outside hire, and it did not work out at all. So I feel like because of that, the Raiders really had no option but to give Antonio Pierce the job that he really respectfully earned. I mean, throughout the year, especially turning just a rough situation over there. And anybody that expects him to win year one, you're being unreasonable because, I mean, look, it's a tough situation. We don't even know what they're going to do at quarterback. But I think that with Antonio Pierce, they're going to take a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Let's slide over and talk about some ownership decisions, okay? And just some things that these owners are dealing with, all right? The Carolina Panthers decided to raise their ticket prices 4%. This is following a 2-15 year. A year in which David Tepper got so pissed off losing to the Jaguars that he threw his drinks at our fans, okay? This is a year where you've hired a head coach and then fired that same head coach middle of the year, okay? We're talking about a year where the Carolina Panthers fans, we're talking about the last 4 years under Tepper, where the Carolina Panthers fans have just been dragged through the mud. We're talking about quarterback after quarterback, okay? We're talking Sam Darnold. We're talking Baker Mayfield. We're talking Teddy Bridgewater. We're talking so many, back to Cam Newton. We're talking every quarterback in the league, just a complete cycle here. Fucking drafting Matt Corral, just doing all this shit. Just can't get anywhere. But then Tepper says, you know what? Not enough of you are coming to the games. We're going to have to raise the tickets 4% this year. Can I?
What?
If you're a Panthers fan, are you accepting this 4% ticket price raise?
I mean, first of all, that's not like an insanely high number to me. Second of all, dude,
what have they done to earn 4% more?
I also want to know, like, because I'm sure that ticket prices are raised every single year because that's just the economy and whatever. But like, I'm sure I want to know what like their track record has been as far as like raising the prices because I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's that insane to me. I just there's like an economy out there. You're just trying to match the economy, and it says that events should cost a little bit more. So I don't know. I just think giving him too much shit because he threw some shit on your fans.
They just lose, man. You want me to pay more for this losing product you continue to bring out and put out for us? I just strongly disagree. I strongly disagree with what you're saying, and here's why, okay? Because this is how most teams do it. I know how they do it. You know why? Because I'm a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, and I've watched us lose for many, many years. And let me tell you, when we were losing for those many, many years, the ticket prices would be very low, especially midway through the year. I'm talking, you want to get in the stadium, $20. You're getting in, okay? Then what happens is you start winning. You have a winning season. And that's when they hike that shit up. Next thing you know, it's $60 to get in the stadium. But because you came off that winning season, the next year, the starting prices of the tickets are also now that we're starting at $30, $35 to get into the stadium. So then that's how you reset the price. You don't reset the prices after we went 2-15. Okay, that's not what we're doing here. Okay. You can't even get people in the stadium. You should be giving us these tickets. Maybe I'll buy a freaking hot dog while I'm there, okay? You should be happy with that, with the product that you're putting on the field, all right? And you have no management style. This team looks like it is a freaking wreck. We don't even look like we're heading in the right direction. So, no, I'm not going to accept a 4% ticket hike. Are you crazy? If I suck at my job all year long, I'm barely showing up, I'm calling out sick, I'm fucking doing nothing all day when I do show up. And then at the end of the year, I turn to my boss and I say, I want 4% increase. He's going to say, no, I'm not giving you, no.
I thought you did do that before.
Probably have, but if I did, I was sure they didn't know it, okay? What I'm telling you is no, we're not paying 4% more, Tepper. Okay? Enjoy your empty stadium. All right?
I mean, to be fair, to that point, I'll say the stadium already looked kind of empty the way it was anyway. So, I mean, he was probably like,
exactly.
Well, fuck it. I might as well get 4% more from the idiots that are coming.
I mean, maybe we can get more if you drop it. maybe you should consider dropping the price.
No, I know.
I'm
joking. But...
couple of kids in there. Let's take a step to another, somehow, some way, an ownership and management group that has just historically, now new group of people, but historically been even worse than Tepper, okay? We're talking about the Commanders here and their poopy pipes that are still going on in Washington, okay? Anybody that watched me on Max Coverage knows that I know all about the Commanders' poopy pipes. A couple years back, okay, literally these pipes burst in the stadium and literally human feces was coming out of them and spraying on a section of their fans, okay? But now we've got more sewage leak issues, and now it's happening in the team locker room. The Commanders obviously were rated one of the worst for the NFLPA survey. They've got a new ownership group. So listen, I'm not saying it's their fault, okay? They inherited this piece of crap stadium. But I'll tell you what, when reports like this are coming out, it seems like you should get on that and fix it, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, all right, if I'm in my house and a fucking pipe bursts and you got shit water spraying out, I'm telling you right now, I'm not staying there or I'm getting it fixed immediately. There's no all the pipes. I'm not staying somewhere where pipes can burst and poop water can start spraying out. And I'm a normal person. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll sell my house. I'll go get a loan to get it fixed. Whatever I got to do. I'm not living in a poopy pipe house. But we got the Commanders, billionaires. They still haven't fixed the fucking pipes. They still got pipe issues going through their stadium. It makes no sense. Can I make it make sense?
I don't think you can, man. I think we're just waiting. We're all waiting for like the new plans for the Commanders' new building and probably a new name too, because I think their name still sucks. But I just hope that they announce some plans for new stadiums soon, man. This as a fan, like I'm sorry, y'all. Like if you like football in that area, that really freaking sucks. I agree with you. Like who wants to sit in that shit? Nobody.
Exactly. It just doesn't make any sense how you could have that much money and dealing with the same issues that you're dealing with 2 years ago. Listen, I'm letting you know right now, if I went to the Jaguars stadium and I was sitting at my seat and some pipes above me bust and there's poop water falling on me, I will probably I might not even root for this team anymore. the level of disrespect that it takes for you to allow that to happen, and no, absolutely not. But the Jaguars, like a normal team, respect their stadium and the people that are in it, so we don't have those kind of issues. But here we are, the Commanders. Again, more reports coming out about the sewage pipes over there. And listen, I don't know that poop was coming out of these ones, okay? But regardless, you should have got all those pipes fixed the first time it was a fucking issue. We shouldn't be talking about this again. In the same year, by the way, where those fans broke the rail leaning on it and they fell almost on Jalen Hurts. So listen, we got to get this whole – if I'm blanking on their names, the group of those sports people and Magic Johnson, all them boys with all that money that bought that team. Okay, I might build a whole new stadium. All right. I don't even know if I can trust anything in here. But if I am going to do this stadium, I'm getting the whole thing inspected at this point. We are getting everything redone right now because that is just unacceptable. And that's the show today, man. It's short, sweet, to the point. These owners, they're being ridiculous. Okay. And they just don't understand what it's like to be an average person, to respect the average guy. But I tell you what, man, here at Total Speculation, that one NFL show, we do respect you. And we appreciate the one person that is watching. I don't know who you are, but you're the MVP, man. Maybe it's us. I don't know. I don't know if we count as a view recording this. But if you're out there, we appreciate you. We'll catch you next week. Hopefully, we'll get some more news on who's going to be free agents. But till then, just hang tight. Let's enjoy the combine. We're out of here.